There it comes.
All right, folks, welcome. My name is Michael Huggins, coming to you live from Tennessee. And today it's our Zoom Up. It's our meetup on Zoom. Happy to have you here. And if you're catching the recording, man, there's a ton more recordings for you to check out to get to know us. The idea behind this is that you're going to get introduced to our community. We're a nationwide community. I'm joined today by my co-host, Scott Rowe. What's up, Scott?
All right. Chi-Town, baby.
What's up?
Chi-Town. Doing great. And you know what? It's funny that you say today is our Zoom up because we're doing it every day.
Every day.
This hour is our
Right.
Zoom up every day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. We've been doing this. I think we're up to episode 41 now.
41 episodes. That happened quick, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
It was like a blink of an eye.
Consistency. And we got some amazing stories to share with you. The idea behind this is that you get to know who we are as a community. Just quick 15-second version for me. 10 years ago, I found this community after I was struggling to pay my bills. I was working 2 jobs. I was behind on my promises. I was eating 1 meal a day, and I was just trying to figure out how this whole money thing worked. I met this community of investors, and within 9 months, I did a deal where I made $21,000 profit, and I quit my job, and we've just been doing it ever since. I'm really grateful for this whole support system, the information, the ideas, and people like Scott who've led the way.
I'll do 15 seconds. And between myself, I got started after losing a big $212,000 a year job, losing places to live and stuff, and I need to reinvent myself. And fortunately, I met this group, and the nice thing about it was myself and Michael have helped over 15,000 people in the years that we've been doing this. So it's been fun to watch the growth. And one of those folks is on the line today with us. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say? You want me to introduce him?
Well, just so you know, after this video, you're going to want to get the other info videos. So get back with the person who sent you the link today so that you can get that. And there's a lot more to this. So go ahead, Scott.
And maybe even hit a like, right? So that let me put it this way. If you hit the like on this video in the YouTube channel, that if you get the recording, then what happens is we can save more people, right? Your like might just increase the SEO, which somebody else in the world that needs to hear what they're about to hear hears it. You could have been the ripple for that, just hitting that like button. So maybe hit that. All right. So let me introduce you. Let me introduce you to Hoan. I met this gentleman, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago out of the Philly market. We were in Pennsylvania, right? Was it? Yeah, well, that's where Philadelphia is. But Lancaster, Pennsylvania, there was an office. A gentleman that I was working with in real estate investing had put an office up, and he introduced me to this dynamic young guy. And to be honest with you, he's 37, so he looks great. He just looks. I mean, whatever you're eating or drinking, brother, I need to know. But this guy he's funny, he's very witty, he's very intelligent, off the scale intelligent. Has helped a lot of people himself after he got in the groove of seeing what we were doing. Is probably he's the driving force of what's happening in Philadelphia with our community. So without further ado, to tell his story, and it's a good one, Mr. Hoan Thai, everybody.
Hoan Thai.
What's going on, Scott? What's going on, Michael? You guys caught me by surprise asking me to be on this Zoom Up thing. I was just trying to be just me. And here I am telling my story. And it's like, who cares? Who cares? Because everybody's living their own stories. And there's been a lot of great stories on here that I've been following. And so I'm just like, okay, I got to tell my story after that. All right, well, here we go, I guess, right? So like Scott said, I'm 37. I'm from Philadelphia. And I got introduced to this real estate community about 4.5 years ago now. And it's funny, I had a funny start because when I was first introduced to the community, I was like, hey, Hoan, would you be interested in joining? And I was like, no, I would not be interested in joining at all, because I'm the smartest man in the world and I don't need to learn anything else, right? That is how I came in. I was full of ego because I had already invested in real estate. I had bought a 6-unit apartment building as my first deal. I had done other deals. I had done a bunch of things. And so when the idea of more real estate education came my way, I was just like, no, why do I need that? What do I need that for? I'm already doing deals. I'm already the best person in the world. And then
You're ingratiating everybody to yourself. That's awesome, dude.
I was then reinvited. I was reinvited to the group to check it out again. Right. And I was just like, all right, I'll go again. Right. Because I was friends with the person who invited me. I trusted the person and he said, come back. And I came back to the same meeting. And at the time, we didn't have study groups going on. We didn't have property tours. We didn't have anything cool. We just had an introduction meeting. And I went back to the same introduction meeting that talked about real estate education. And I was just like, you know what? If I learned more, I bet I could do more. And so, same person, different mindset. And I was lucky, I'm going to say, because there wasn't anything that I did that caused me to hear the message in a different way. I just did. I just heard the message differently. And I saw that by being in a part of a community, that I would have access to people that I could talk to when I had a problem, when I had questions about how to do a certain strategy. I could just pick up the phone and say, hey, can you help me with this? And then they would just walk me through it. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And so having access to the community, having access to my video library so that I can go back and learn something that I'm working on, it's just an amazing thing. It's just been an amazing thing so far. So that is my introduction to the community. And 4.5 years later, I'm still here. And I like it just as much as I ever have.
And talking about study groups, so we have this model around the country where we get together on a weekly basis around certain strategies, and you've now taken that mantle. So you're a guy that comes in knowing everything, and pretty soon you're the guy helping everybody. So talk to us about that transition. You came in, it's all about me, and then now you're probably the reason a lot of people are doing stuff in Philly.
Yeah, it's fun how that happened, right? So when you first start off, and when I first started off, it was all about me. It's like, what can this group do for me? How can this group make me more money? How can I do more deals? Like me. And then as I got what I came for, as I did more deals, I found it more fulfilling to actually help other people do their deals, because at some point you know how to make money, you know how to do deals, you know all of these things, right? Now it just becomes like breathing. So then you see brand new people coming in, bright-eyed, bushy tail, with all of the optimism in the world. And so you're like, well, yeah, this is how you do this is how you do that. And you give them that helping hand, and all of a sudden you watch them go through their journey, you watch them ask the same questions that you had, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, that was me X number of years ago. And then when you help them, and then for some people, they own more properties than me. They started off with none, and they own more properties than me now. So then I have to get back on the ball so that I can buy more properties than them. So it's a constant evolution. And like Tony Robbins says, progress equals happiness. So as I watch other people progress, they force me to progress. And then this progress equals happiness. So I find that my life is more fulfilling and happier as I help other people, because ultimately they help me not rest on my laurels and not just settle. And so I'm striving to always be better. And by being in this community, having this education and helping others, it's just been a wonderful, wonderful journey. It's just much, much more than the money. Much, much more than the money. At first, it's all about the money. After that, you realize there's a bigger purpose. And I believe that everybody was born with a gift. Everybody has a special little gift. The problem is that they don't have the time to explore that gift, to share that gift, to cultivate that gift, right? And so it's part of our mission for those who figured out how to become financially flexible, financially aware, to help other people so that they can get into the same position that we're in, so that they have the luxury of exploring their gift so that they can share it with the world. If we don't have people sharing their gifts with the world, then we're going to have a world that's not so great. And people listening to when I say that, it's like woo woo kind of thing, right? It's like, I'm just trying to pay my bills. What do you mean this gift? What do you mean change the world? What do you mean all this stuff, right? Well, if you don't change the world, then who, right? If not you, then who? And the people who do change the world, the people who are the hero in the story, they don't sign up for that, right? They don't. It's like Spider-Man. He gets bit, he becomes a wrestler, he's got these superpowers, right? And then there's like the bank robber, whoever that was, that runs by him. He's like, whoa, that's not my job, right? And then his uncle gets killed. So don't be that, right? You're gonna be the superhero when we give you this, or when you get the superpower. And it first starts with you realizing that you have that superpower, that gift inside of you. You just need that time to cultivate it, but you don't have the time because you're always working, and you're always working because you never learn how to make money without trading your time for it. So all of this comes back to this education, this community, and just improving yourself so that you can help other people, so that ultimately we have a great world where we all have to share and we all live in, and we're going to be happy that we live in it.
All right, question. I got a question. I got a question.
All right.
At the risk of running for an hour with Hoan Thai, his beautiful explanation. So you speak, you went from me to woo woo woo. That's awesome. Now you're woo woo. And listen, I'll tell you, man, we had an award ceremony out in Pennsylvania.
Hey.
Yeah. You were the biggest crier on stage. Like, this guy had a moment where he broke down and he couldn't speak. He was weeping so much about what he had achieved. So let's talk about that. I want to go back beyond you starting that. Look at him.
That's funny. That's funny that you brought that up.
I think he's
I forgot about that. No, I didn't.
Anyway, so you were an engineer, right? So talk about that, because you hit on, we trade our time for dollars, and I've heard a little bit of frustration in there that may have sparked your interest on getting into real estate. So maybe that could help somebody else here.
Yeah. So as an engineer, corporate America, you dress up, you wear the suit, tie, everything, and then you go to work. And when I got there, I realized that this was not where I wanted to be. Right? I would look around at my coworkers, at my boss, and I would ask myself, is this where I want to be? My boss, and I say, is that where I want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Right? Because there is no special track for me. It's, if I continue this way, I'm going to have that job. And my boss would threaten me. Believe it or not, my boss would threaten me all the time. And he would say, Hoan, if you work really, really hard, you will have this job one day. And I was like, whoa. I don't want any piece of that.
That's a different perspective, right? Don't threaten me with that kind of existence. I see you and I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Right. And so I knew I needed to get out of that. And so while I was at work doing what I needed to do, I continued to work on me. And I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which enlightened me to the idea of having assets pay for my liabilities, having passive income create the income versus me trading my time and being the asset to create that income. So I had other things to make me money. And that idea was just like groundbreaking for me, because I never thought about that. I was never exposed to that. Going through college and everything else, you get a job because that's what you do, and you got to trade your time for money. And then as I got more involved in business and investing and everything else, what I realized, and the most pivotal thing in my whole existence now, is that they say time is money, but now I say money is time. I get to use money to buy me more time. Imagine whatever age you are, if let's say you are 40 years old, and then you are able to retire right now, that means you just bought yourself 25 years. You just bought yourself 25 years, because most people retire at the age of 65. How much is 25 years of your life worth? Right? And let's cut that in half. Because you're not spending 24/7, 365 working, but you're working a significant amount of that. So instead of 25 years, maybe it's 13 years, maybe it's 10 years that you're buying back. How much is that worth? How much is 10 years of your life worth? And that's priceless. So you see how money is time for me, whereas for most people, time is money. So I much rather trade my money for more time than to trade my time for more money.
And hopefully everybody else on the line is willing to do that now. All right. Let's fast forward to now. What do you, how many deals have you done? And give me an estimate. What are you hanging on to? What's your fun? What do you like about real estate right now? What's your game?
Well, I don't, here's the funny thing. People ask me this all, this comes up quite a bit. I don't like real estate. Okay. And people, I meet people all the time. Oh, I love real estate. Real estate's amazing. I don't love real estate. I do real estate for the money. Let's be clear. I do real estate for the money. It makes a lot of money. It has a solid game plan. It has a structure, right? Real estate has a structure. You find it, you fund it, you fix it, you flip it. You make money, right? There's a game plan. It's a proven model. The inventory, there's a game plan of getting the inventory. You know who the end buyer is. You know where the money's coming from. And it has been proven for years and years and years. So I do it for the money. I don't love it. What I do love is me growing in the process and becoming more financially aware. So I started off, like I said, with the 6-unit apartment building, and then I bought a ton of single family home rentals and smaller multifamily rentals. I flipped a couple. I flipped the one last week. Hopefully I close on one next week. They postponed settlement, right? So I close on one next week, and I just got involved with a 336 unit apartment building. But
Nice.
that would have never happened if I weren't involved with this community and with what I've learned, because they say it's not what you know, it's who you know. But the people who you need to know, why do they want to know you if you don't know anything? So you need to know a little bit to be invited to the table, to sit at the table
Yeah.
for these bigger deals.
Yeah.
So because of what I've learned from this community, from the education, from being around, I'm invited to all types of deals now that I would never have been invited to. And so my life has constantly evolved, and this is just the next phase of it. I also have stacked on other business ventures that align with this. So I do Hoan's loans. So I help people get like hard money loans, things like that, so that they can do their deals. And it's great because I can create a little ecosphere. I can create a little ecosphere for all of the students so that they can be successful, right? Because if they're successful, then I'm successful. And here we are today, where it's just aiming bigger, and making it a new reality. Whereas before it was just like, I hope one day kind of thing. Like I see a lot of people on their like vision boards, like, oh, I hope for 100 deals or whatever. And it's kind of like just a pipe dream. It's not a real thing. They write it down because 100 is a round number, but they don't actually have a plan on how to execute it. They don't have the knowledge base. They don't have the resources. They don't have any of that. For me, it's completely different. I have all of those things. It's just a matter of where is this 100-unit building or whatever, right? I'm involved with the 336 unit building. It's like, what's next? I am more than capable of taking things down. And what's crazy is I'm the same person overall, right? Nothing, like my blood type hasn't changed. Like I'm not taller, unfortunately. Like nothing changed other than what's in here, right? And this is what created the reality that I get to live today.
Beautiful. I couldn't have said it better myself, because my name's Scott.
I don't even know what I said.
It was good, dude. Michael, you got anything? Look, I here's my claim to fame today is I'm hooking one legend up with another legend. Michael, you got any questions? I can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted, brother.
Good. That'll help. I'm curious. What a wonderful story. Very well said. I'm curious, back when you started and you already had that 6-unit building, was there anything in the training or the program that you went through that made you think, oh, maybe I should have done something a little bit different, or like you restructured it, increased your cash flow? Was there something you came across in the curriculum that made you think, how can I improve what I'm already doing?
Well, maybe not on that particular property, but I do remember when I was first introduced to the community, where there was a deal that I was working on, and I had all my money tied up in other deals. So I couldn't get this deal, but I knew about wholesaling. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wholesale it, right? I thought, I'm so smart. I'm going to wholesale it. I'll still make money, even though I can't buy it, even though I really wanted to buy it. So then I wholesaled it to a friend. And it turns out that friend who bought the deal, he didn't have any money either. He had me structure a creative acquisition strategy. He had me structure it with the seller and an attorney. He made me find an attorney. He made me do all of the work. And I'm sitting here like, wait, hold on. You don't have the money either? But because I already agreed, I'm not going to go back on my word, right?
Yeah.
Now that I've learned the strategy, he's showing me the strategy by making me do the strategy for him to acquire the deal. It's like, now I know how to do. I'm not going to go back on my word, but let that be a lesson to me for not knowing.
Like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. So I wholesaled it. I made $6,000. The day he bought it, it had $30,000 in equity. So I was like, man,
You always had your heart.
us,
You had the brains, right?
Yeah. It just that screwed me up a little bit, because it was just like, I wasn't smart enough. And I take pride in being smart and all that kind of stuff. And he was just a little bit smarter. And it's like, wow, if I was just a little bit smarter in all aspects of my life, what would my life look like? So now, because of situations like that, I'm on like a tear. Like I'm just constantly learning. Like I spend most of my days just learning. That's it. Most of my days learning. People ask, Hoan, can I shadow you? I'm like, it wouldn't be good for you to shadow me, because all I do is watch a screen all day and learn. There's nothing to see, because people hear real estate investor, they think I'm swinging hammers or whatever. Like, they think I'm doing stuff. I'm not doing anything. I'm reading. I'm watching videos. Like, I'm taking notes. You don't want to shadow that.
That's the key, man. Use your gifts of reading, change your life, change other people's lives. I think that's inspirational, and we're excited to have you back here in a few months to hear about these other deals you're closing.
I want to hear about the big deal.
Yeah, man.
36 units, baby.
Yeah, it's in North Carolina. So we don't have much time, but it's in North Carolina. It's a value add play, but it's a cash flow play, because the majority of the units are already occupied. All it is that we got to get rid of some of the bad units or some of the bad tenants, and then modify their rents, or rehab their units, modify the rents to be a little higher. And yeah, that's the game, man. It's unit after unit after unit, and before you know it, it's going to be a 3-year turnarown time.
Sounds like a property tour. It sounds like you putting together a PowerPoint for a property tour that we can have soon, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's dope. Maybe
we're gonna help you learn how to do that.
Yeah, and maybe I can talk to you guys later about potential opportunities. So, and that's the other cool part, right? As you elevate to next levels, you get to work with other people, and they want to work with you now because you have bigger opportunities that have enough juice in the squeeze, as we call it, for everybody to make money. Like, a 336 unit property has more than enough room for me, Michael, and Scott to make money.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a fantastic thing.
Right on.
All right, man. You want to line this up there, a superstar?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Hoan, for coming out here and sharing and being raw, real, and uncut with us. It's amazing what you've done, and being coachable, how much it's changed your life, going from that know-it-all to being coachable and elevating that whole business that you've been creating. So good job there. And folks, if you like this video, there's more to them. Go to our channel, our YouTube channel called Elevate Renatus. There's a whole playlist. Go and listen to all kinds of people, different backgrounds, different skill sets, what they've been able to do. I mean, if we were to add it up, probably now there's probably been 10,000 deals inside of our community. Now that's an unfounded claim. I'm just rounding up some numbers here. Don't quote me on it.
Yeah, listen, and I'm going to say this. Look, you making money in real estate isn't a guarantee. So you might want to learn, stick your nose in some videos like Hoan and make sure that you're dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's right. And again, just like I told Hoan, if you hit the like button on these videos, then what will happen is if people are out there looking for real estate investing, then they're going to find it. And you may have been a part of that ripple that helped them get into what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. There's a lot of community support here. So get back to the person who invited you here. It's now time for you to get the info session video where we go in detail who we are, what we do, and how you can link arms with us. There's also going to be some workshops coming up this Saturday and next Saturday. So if you want to get the links for that, because those are by invitation only. They're not open to the public. So get on the registration list for that. And with that being said, thanks again, Hoan, for being here. Everybody, have a wonderful day. Scott, good to see you.
See you, brother.
Take care, everybody.